So I got this email. I wanted to kind of clue you in on what I think when I get an email that I'm at least a little bit uncertain about. So I got this email here from an Owen Williams. That's certainly an odd name. And it says, I would like to know if you can handle website development for a clothing store. Now, on the surface, that's a completely legitimate email. I get those kinds of things often enough. But there seems to be a certain lack of information there. There's no name. It's very impersonal. It's very abrupt. And for some reason, it just tweaked me. You know, and sometimes that's all you get. Just a little bit of instinct. Is this legit? But let's say I didn't get that. Let's say this is your initial reaction is just to reply to this. There's no harm that can come of that. So I'm going to go a little further down the rabbit hole, and I'm going to hit reply. And all right, now let's see what Owen Williams has to say. So I don't know what Owen's going to say. This video is being taken live, but my instincts tell me from my time in this business, this is just a little bit off color because I've seen other ones similar to this for different purposes. So I'm going to hit send. Now, if this was an auto reply, if this was a very automated, slick system on their part, I would probably have a reply to that pretty darn quickly. It would turn around on a dime. But in this case, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I'm going to put this video on pause, and I'm going to come back if, in fact, Owen Williams has something more to say. Okay, so yesterday I created a video, and my suspicions turned out to be accurate. So today, at 11:51 a.m., I get a reply to yesterday's email from Owen Williams. Let's take a look at what Owen has to say. You can see what I wrote. What they wrote, what I wrote, and here's Owen. I don't know if Owen's a guy or a gal, but thanks for getting in touch. I'd like to review the details. Here's the project details, and so on and so on and so on. Now, how do we know that this is a scam? Well, quite frankly, I could have determined this way down here at their first email to me. Now you notice that the I here is a lowercase I. That's a slight indicator, perhaps instinctually one of the things that triggered me to begin with. And the fact that they didn't put their name in there at the bottom when they signed off, it's just a couple of small triggers. But I'm going to just take this line right here. Okay. We don't need the question mark. I'll leave that off. Wouldn't have mattered, I suppose, but I want to show you what I have in mind here. Now I'm going to take a browser. I'm going to go to a search engine, and I'm going to paste that sentence. Okay. The only thing I'm going to do differently here is I'm going to put quotation marks at the end and at the beginning of that line, because by doing that, it's only going to find exact phrases. If I had left those quotation marks off of there, then it's going to pick up searches of other sites that might include clothing store, website development, and so on. And whenever you're searching for something, if you want an exact phrase, you've got to quote it. Now, this is a long string. If I get a hit on this, it's guaranteed to be related to what I just received in my email box. So let's see what the world has to say. I'm going to hit enter. All right, now, using the quote, Google comes up with 861 results. And right off the bat, we say, watch out for these website design scams. Beware of web design scams. Beware of scams. And on down the line it goes. Of course, hell, some of these might be scams, so you got to be careful of that too. But I'm going to click on this. I have clicked on this first one before. You can see because it's turned purple. And then we get a lot of emails here at North Fork Business Solutions, wherever they are. So they're telling the story of their particular experience with that scam. And frankly, we've already seen enough. If this exact phrase comes up and triggers that many replies in the scam world, we know right away that that's what we're dealing with, and we can go ahead and go further. And again, we see the lack of capitalization on both SO and I. Somebody who's using English but really doesn't have it down. But I'm going to just copy one more sentence so we can do this again and you can get an idea of how this works. We'll put the quotation mark, we'll close it, and we'll search. And again, we've got a different group. You know, these two didn't come up before, but they let us know the same basic thing. So we'll click on there. And they want to make sure that people here are aware of a scam that's been going around targeting web designers. Now, this is only about a website design scam. They try, because we're in the website design business, they've searched that out. There is software that allows them to scrape information off of websites worldwide, and they throw that information in a database, and then they target scams related to those industries using the email addresses they might find on the website or elsewhere on the web. So that's your lesson for today. If you're in doubt about whether or not it's a scam, copy some of the text within that email, quote it, paste it in a browser, and see what the world has to say. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.